Dicey and Ton. Let's kill this.
Thank you very much. Yes, our last game before the major. One last chance to get all the practice in these teams need before we settle it on LAN. Ton, how you feeling about this one?
I'm feeling like the next game we cast is going to be in Texas, baby. I'm excited. But I'm really looking forward to this game. Really looking forward to this game. We said we were talking about our games that we had coming up, and this was the one we had the eyes on. This should be a really decent matchup. Thieves looking good as per usual, although saying that online Thieves has kind of been up and down, but the Boston Breach, the new look with Beans, has looked solid throughout as well. It's a really hard one to actually figure out which way it's going to go. If I'm honest, it's kind of the same as game number 1 and game number 2. It's hard to predict, but that's how we like it. Surprise me. Hotel Hardpoint is going to be coming up first. Hotel Search and Destroy second. LSELO Control obviously third. And if we need them, we'll see HyDra and LSELO in maps number 4 and 5. I think it's difficult. I think the only thing that I'm leaning towards is that Boston have never beat Thieves ever. So that's a pretty good stat line for the side of Thieves. They've got to be feeling confident. But other than that, both these two teams' form is looking pretty similar, you want to say. They're in really close positions. But Thieves will want that first seed. They will absolutely want to get a hold of that. You want to make it as easy as possible at the start of your route through that winner's bracket. Hard to decipher though, Bryce. I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure which way this one goes.
No, me either. It should be a good game regardless. Today has been full of good games. Long may it continue into the major. But both teams will start off here on the hard point. And yeah, probably the most important thing for me is the franchise. Even though they were a little bit late to the party originally, Boston have never taken down Thieves.
I think it's a hotel. Both teams really poor at rotating in general. LAT though, of course, we know that this is a typical trait, I want to say, because their breaking has been so good. That's what's making them pretty decent at hardpoint, of course. Envoy up towards the capture's side. Awakening kill. Posted up nicely. That trophy will help him out. The kills will flow through. Look towards these spawns, though. You've already got Octane all the way back towards that side, but Beans is actually going to gun him. So that's an opportunity now for Boston, who are starting to get spawns over towards the P2 side, as well as a decent chunk on P1. Good start for the breach.
So can they just hold off this rotation? Envoy just punching his way through in a reception desk. You can see the rest of Boston getting into position for it as well, with Beans holding the cross and just gunning. Is he going to be the difference maker in this legacy matchup? 5 streak for the beginning, looking for the 6, but Octane will shut him down. Yeah, it does eventually fall. Beans typically has struggled on this map in his small sample size of a career at a 0.77. So far, so good. Drazah with the kills over towards the Spar side though, and holding the back spawns is still the Boston Breach, but Envoy finds a way through, as he so often does. That's 2 kills to his name, none for Vivid so far, with the 6 deaths alongside of it. Boston Breach are broken far too easily, but the breaks of Thieves come so seamlessly in their wins in hardpoint. A nice break from them, but looking towards this rotation in 20 seconds, who's going to come out on top? Just still a bit of a battle over it. At the moment, you can see there is a back spawn, actually. Does Envoy go for this? No, looks like he's just going to get out of there. On the other side of it, Kenny all the way around, but Vivid has him locked in. Can he win this gunfight and get out? He is going to eventually get onto the board. Rotation secured for Boston.
Yeah, good time to get your first kill. That one would have been a little bit disastrous for the side of Boston Breach, but they'll take the rotation considering they had P2 control. Coming out of it pretty much where you were after P1 is okay, you'll take it because you got P3 spawns. You've got the setup with kitchen, and it is a deep setup as well. Beans ready and waiting here in the restaurant, and he is cooking right now. There is 1 and 2. Number 3 following, not quite. Octane's the only one to find a kill back. LA Thieves not quite close enough yet.
And they're trying to just get a pinch in before they know that the push is coming through. Restaurant Awakening, waiting for the player to go around the corner, and will be done by Octane before he can do any more. Vivid gets the trade eventually. More players flooding in from both sides. Can he get him 1? Looking to get the second, but we know it's a snake off in the kitchen. Nero eventually will find the kills, and they're above the pressure. I'd say that, but one more player coming through. Eventually, Nero does shut down that push.
Vivid, for all that he's been struggling, finding important kills, albeit 2 of them. Important nonetheless. Helps his team get a good amount of time there. Rotation over towards this side. A nightmare for SMGs. You're pushing through bottom bed. Yeah, good luck. Octane already on what we like to call the godheady. Insane shots coming out of Beans though. He will find 2. Awakening here to try and break through himself as well. Boston Breach very much slaying across the board. LA Thieves not quite at the races yet, but a couple of kills coming through. This should be a good hold.
Well, they do have it. This is time they need. Boston trying to make a play towards the back, but Vivid runs straight into Drazah. No joy there either, and now they're going to go the long route. Envoy already finding the player up top bedroom that was setting up. Nothing for Boston. Nowhere for Boston. And LA Thieves just farming kills.
Yeah, they play that really nicely. Envoy pushes over towards the bed site. And then all of a sudden, you start spawning over towards Jewel. Boston Breach through the gauntlet here now. Bit of bad timing as well as Kenny will find one. Doesn't see one behind the... No way. No shot. Awakening. Eventually does take him down, but gets traded. Boston get absolutely nothing there. LA Thieves, they bridge that gap quite significantly over towards P4. Oh my god. Okay.
And there are some gunfights going on, if you can call them that. Pretty one-sided, but we are over here with many, many players. Kenny, long range with a Vaznev, not going to work. Has to stay alive, waiting for teammates to reinforce. It's a big hut here, and Bean's going to be on the cut as well. We're seeing him play this position over and over again. He is slowing down Thieves whenever they encounter him.
It feels like Thieves have had a long way to go before they've even touched the Boston Breach setup. Good expansion from Breach. 2 kills for Vivid, but the trade's in the favor of the LA Thieves. They'll find a way through. 30 seconds left here. Over towards P5.
And Boston trying to break, looking for a way past Thieves. Let's see how they break this down on the comms though with a listening. Boston Breach.
Guys, I need one.
Miss one.
I'll hold you.
I won.
I'm my
Can't wait. My head bad.
Yeah, he's couches.
Alright.
He's... That's it, we're looking for. I'm backing up, Joe.
Alright.
I've won about help.
They're first, we'll try.
They're gonna go through. Help him, though. Yeah. I have your up on the soil. I have your wine, Joe.
Top bed, I have blue bed.
I'm pitching cat.
Another shot. Octane's old.
In the corner.
Octane's old, missing one.
We're looking for Josh. Kenny.
I ball mid, guys.
I'm on time. Yeah, back to Cammy. Nice. I spawned up front. I have front. They might spawn like weird. Oh my god! We're going for one. Drazah.
In top bed.
I'm going to my top bed.
Nice.
I'm pushing out kitchen.
That's fun, I think.
Maybe couch, one big careful, man. Jump. Can.
Yeah, he's on top.
Below me, man.
You good.
Nice, 4. They're off one. I have your kitchen, Ben.
Watch out, Octane's on bar. He went one mid.
I'm just holding caution. Get this time.
Well, my goodness, Beans is baking. 170 to 92. And that might have been the difference. 20 and 12 on a 4 streak himself. They have been just winning rotations and going to town.
Yeah, really nice rotation out of the side of Boston Breach. They choose to force through the bedroom side. They lock down kitchen. And things have looked pretty ever since Nero will get caught out here surely by Kenny and does so. So we head over towards P1 again. But yeah, the rotations for Breach have been solid. And when they have found those rotations, they've expanded out of them so far. LA Thieves have struggled to get anywhere near these hard points. So there's not really been a great deal of trading going on. There's not been much contention. It's been all Breach. When they find the rotation, they're looking at it.
Ghosty on a 5 streak himself, staying alive. Fortunately, teammate comes in above it as well. LA Thieves, they know they've got a long way back into this game. Going to try and stay alive on P1 as long as possible. And then hope that they can find a gap to get through. But again, Beans winning another gunfight. Thieves need not only this time, but a rotation to bring themselves back into contest.
I mean, for an AR to have, what, 37 engagements, we've just done 1 rotation of hills. Incredible from Beans. Envoy will deal with them towards the back, though. That was a gunfight he could have done with winning. The Thieves now finding a rotation over towards P2. This is a good opportunity for some solid time. Oh.
Well, world champions they are, and Kenny now on a 5 streak. Could they finally be heating up? Let's find out with the LA Thieves. Listen in.
I have your white. One's in back for sure. I have D1 out there.
One shot back steps. White door, naded and zig. White steps.
That's one close. Okay, I'm gonna shot.
I'm here with you, Cam.
I'm gonna leg it. Zig pillar. Oh, Zig pillar. One shot Beans. He's absolutely behind Zig pillar. One's white door. Close right white door. Right Zig pillar. Close right white door. Zig pillar.
You should stay new, Sam.
Yeah, one's out. No,
I know. That's all three. We're good. Yo, get this 60. We're back in the game.
Lobby. Going full spreading out. Lobby going P1 right now.
Get back in. I spawned out. One more lobby, I think.
I'll see him. I spawned in new. Wait. I spawned in new. End up. They could be your mid. Back to 6
One shot. Lobby. One shot. Lobby to lamp.
I got it down, bro. We gotta get this down, bro.
Yeah. I'm
in hill. Hold hill.
There he goes.
I'm laying off us.
Yo, I saw a call out.
I have a streak for new best, right?
And the Thieves trying to figure out exactly how to defuse this puzzle. But the puzzle is no more. Now they've got to figure out how to hold an almost flawless game. 134 to 237, and here come Boston.
Beans trying to find a push through. will find one, cannot find the second. Awakening here, though. The LA Thieves have been thinned out over towards the kitchen side, spawning up towards bedroom. The reinforcements are on their way, but Boston starting to stack themselves up. They know it takes one decent break and the game is theirs.
And there's 3 more. Another one from Kenny. Is the dream alive? Is it a possibility? Will be one of the greatest comebacks, but they have to just do everything right. And, well, Kenny isn't missing. But can they not miss a beat here, Ton? It is such a difficult task.
Really important gunfight won by Envoy over towards the kitchen side. Keeps that 10 seconds or so away from the side of Boston Breach, so they're still 13 points away. You need a good break here for your Thieves. Make it 10 seconds for the Boston Breach.
And Kenny's calling in the cruise missile, but will it be enough?
Gotta be
the
fast.
rest of Boston have spread out. They're looking for the player. Beans finds one, and that is going to be taken down. It does nothing. Beans finds a second. Beans finds a third, and that may just put them down. LA Thieves, with 2 seconds left to go, actually do get in the hard point. They find 3 themselves, but surely this game is all but written into history.
You would think so. It's becoming insurmountable for the side of the LA Thieves. 2 points for Boston. It's one little break is all they need. Vivid through the front door will find one. Beans finds another. Drazah's the only one to answer, as does Envoy. 1v1 for Awakening on the point, and he gets absolutely gunned. Envoy will hold it down. 10 seconds to go for the Thieves over towards that old hill, but the rotation is here for Boston.
Cross your fingers, cross your toes, cross everything you've got going for you. LA Thieves need a miracle. Boston just need to do nothing as they win the game on the rotation. And it is a performance out of them against LA Thieves. There were questions about Beans when he first entered. His first game in the CDL was not great, but that's why they brought him in. That's why he was on their sub bench.
Fast-paced AR gameplay coming out of Ben Beans. A really good performance, and honestly, it slowed down in the second half as well. But the interactions were absolutely off the chain. 34 and 21. Just holding down the cuts where he needs to, winning the gunfights inside the hill where he needs to. The most hill time on just about Nelly on his team will be Nero picking up the most, a few seconds off. That's a huge game from him. 27 non-traded kills, and bearing in mind who he's going up against: Octane, Drazah, Kenny. All really good ARs in their own right, of course, in their time, especially with Kenny, but that was a big performance from Beans.
Yeah, it really was, and we even heard it in the comms. Beans was roaring. And that kind of momentum, that kind of enthusiasm and passion cannot be matched. Boy from Colchester did good.
I like how you got that one in there, yeah. Used to and Rab in the little Colchester clan. I see you. There's no pros from Newcastle. I've got nobody to have fun with anyway. Kenny and Co trying to get back in this one, and honestly it was relatively close for the first couple of hills, but what I said about Boston throughout was that their rotations look pretty solid, and it was something that we were commenting on before the game. Relatively slow from both these two teams in terms of rotations previously, but for Boston this time around, when they got that early rotation, their setups were so good, especially towards kitchen. It felt like they had a setup further out than anybody else, and that just spawns Thieves further out and makes it harder to get yourself through towards these hard points as well. You've got to slay your way through a couple of waves of Boston players, and that's ultimately what makes it so difficult. A great job from Beans, a great job from Boston. It really will have Drazah and Co scratching their head. What went wrong there? Have to review that one afterwards, but you've got plenty of a series left to go. Search and Destroy coming up next. Big game from Beans.
Yeah, it is. And while we're on the subject, realistically, this isn't just about Beans, but probably about any rookie we actually talk about in this CDL on their rookie year. I kind of never expect a rookie to do well, at least in their first game, right? If you think about a lot of the rookies we've been seeing this year and players coming into the CDL for the first time, nerves is always going to realistically be a factor. The entire eyes of the world will be upon you, so it's probably, you know, not always very fair to kind of judge them before we get to see them for a little bit longer. Obviously, Beans having a good performance in contrast to his first one. We've seen this like T-Real having a really good time this time around in the CDL. Obviously, has improved. Vegas maybe not a rookie, but it's the same thing for Ghosty, right? The amount of pressure Ghosty's been under,
yeah,
and I think he's risen to it.
He started to rise to it, yeah. I know we were commenting on him specifically, and of course on Beans, but it has taken them some time to get into it. I think, you know, the less pressurized situation is probably on the Boston team, in absolute fairness. But Beans, really has escalated his performances ever since that first game. And Search and Destroy is one of those game modes where he really does thrive as well. So I'm really interested when we do head in towards Search and Destroy in map number 2 to see how things are going to go down. But hey, look, that was really, really good from the Boston Breach as well. And to dispatch Thieves on a map like Hotel like that, big statement in map number 1.
It certainly is. The other part of this here for Boston going into the major, last major, their major was a disappointing event for them. Not only did they not have a good time, but we lost the face of the franchise. Methods did retire. Anything they can do to do better this time around. They win this game. I believe they go second seed, Ton.
Yeah, that would be correct. With Seattle sitting in first. Of course, if Thieves win it, they take the first seed. Somebody lines up against OpTic on the main stage on that Thursday. I think it could be one of these teams, of course. So that's one that you, well, do you want to avoid? Do you want to quieten the crowd? I'm not too sure. But looking towards the Search and Destroy, Kenny and Vivid. I'm interested to see how they manage to work things on Hotel. Can they be the ones making the plays for their team? Offensive KD out of Kenny is absurd. 2.1. He's the man trying to find these rich, trying to lock down the bomb sites as we head into Hotel. Boston's picking the Search and Destroy after you just beat LA Thieves on their favored Hotel hardpoint. You gotta be feeling good if you're Boston, but looking towards the record, 6-3 out of LA Thieves did not feel too bad on that one. Boston with a really good first blood percentage, but something that they've struggled on this map with those first bloods, when they find them, the conversion is low. Second in terms of first bloods, but second last in terms of converting it. So that's going to be a struggle for them. Can they tighten up there as we head into Hotel Search and Destroy? Must win for Thieves here, I feel.
Well, let's see. A little bit favored. Beans with a sniper. Not catching anybody double desk quite yet. Expecting somebody to pop their head up, but hasn't seen anything.
And I want to say that Thieves may have done their research on that, because he has had a lot of success with that sniper over towards A. Oh, well, you ain't done your research though, Envoy. Easy kill for Beans. Holds the angle, doesn't see anyone to the right, so well, okay, they can only come for a couple of different places. Let's lock that down, find the kill. 4v3 scenario for the Boston Breach.
Just waiting to see if anybody appears catwalkers. The game slows to a crawl. Thieves hoping for a gap before they have to commit. This may be a rotation back over to A.
Boston are sitting really tight here though. Not much action. They'll start to move now though, as some information is presented Vivid's way. I think he'd be hearing somebody over towards the couch's side. We can see that Kenny is in that position. He is going to get taken down though. The info was good enough. Beans in an awkward position, but the rest of his team dealing with the rest of Thieves. Get shots in from Nero to close out round number 1. A convincing one at that as well.
There are a lot of aspects to this. Maybe LA Thieves left a little bit late, and I've spoken about this for time and time again in the past. This strategy can work if you can find a kill. It allows you to basically pull the defending team apart. But if you don't find it, if you lose a kill like you do and you've burned that amount of time, all of a sudden you've lost map control, you have to check your corners. It can become a daunting prospect for you. A lot of teams do it because it can be the safer route, but we'll see if there are adjustments going on in this S&D. At the moment, though, Boston get first blood.
Look at this from Thieves. This is fast. This is very fast into the middle of the map. Just complete control. What's Boston's play? Thieves seem to be ready for it.
Kenny's moving. Kenny is moving. He's looking. He's going to find the first as well. That's first blood. But on the other side of the map, Boston are trying to take control.
And this is a bedroom stack from the side of Boston. Nero can find a second. It's absurd. Drazah and Octane get sent back into round number 3. That's when we'll see you next. But that bomb is down. Bedroom control for Boston. This should be 2-0.
Kenny, though, finds one, brings it back to a 2 versus 2. Beans waiting for the push. He's on the horizon. Kenny versus Nero is a big gunfight. Kenny gets out of that. Nero's super weak. On the other side of it, Beans is going to find Envoy, who was flanking. And now Kenny in a 1 versus 2, but no time, surely. Heads out towards it. Beans will be the first player that can see him. And he's going to get that kill easy enough.
Yep, see him here. All of the above. And I really like that from Boston. I couldn't quite tell where they exactly had it planted for, but it seemed like it was planted for bar side, but then they pushed into bedroom. Of course, you can watch it from both sides. It's no problem. Gets himself in there, and Nero just plays his life. He's shouting out that he's weak. Probably hears him pushing from bottom bed, and Beans is there to the rescue. Big kill that came on through, but Nero with the 2-piece is going to be the highlight moment there. Very well played. Thieves are all at sea at the moment. Boston Breach seem to have all the answers for any question that they pose, but this is looking like a faster A hit. Beans here with just the tack this time.
Trying to throw the needle, waiting for Owakening to come through. Calls one out, doesn't take a shot, but will throw the stone out. I think he actually hit a player. But they know this one was going down. He actually bangs the doors open. He's going to see the player. That's an easy pick for him as well. The cover just wasn't where he wanted it. Beans knows he's going to be chowed. Looks for the kill. Envoy will fall at the same time. And Octane's like, where have my team gone?
They're all dead, Sam. They're all dead. Phenomenal from Beans as well, but it's too easy. I mean, there's a lot of different places to watch towards bedroom, but they would have called him out bottom, probably not expecting him to get up the ladders and just peek it so quickly. That bomb's going down for the left-hand side, so you can kind of hold it from bar just that little bit easier without showing yourself to that mid-map, but it is that undoes Thieves this time around. Boston Breach look pretty much unstoppable here. Thieves need to wake up sharpish, Bryce. This one could be over fast.
Yeah, looking a little bit shell-shocked in this game. 3 players on a donut. Boston, confidence will be riding high, but they need to stick to the game plan. Already though, first blood here, but it will be traded back by Nero. Down to a 3 versus 3. Octane's coming out of fire. Beans has found him. And now a big fight up top. Drazah will bring this back to a 2 versus 2. Exactly what Thieves needed. Get the numbers on side.
Oh, and Beans was ready for it. Cruise missile now acquired. But still, not a lot of control here. Not a lot of information for Boston. They know where Drazah is, but that's about it. They didn't know where Envoy was. They do now. Awakening dead. Beans 1v2.
Beans.
So loud.
Yeah, no dead silence. This, obviously, sitting here, there's a little bit of an angle for him. He's hoping that Thieves make the wrong move.
There's Drazah hearing that. He's surely hearing this. As he stomps his way up. Hold on a second.
Oh, he's called it. He's in it. The door's ajar. And he is struck.
15
Still
seconds.
no dead silence.
He just doesn't have time here. He's going to have to try and catch Envoy off guard because he's not going to have time to plant. He's not going to get the opportunity, surely. Envoy takes his time. Beans, very little you can do there. Did well to make it a 1 versus 1. 7 is the streak, and it is ended by Envoy, who ends the streak of Boston rounds. That was looking very, very scary. If Beans clutches that 1v2 to make it 4, it's all but curtains for the Thieves at that stage. Crucial round for the LA side.
And you got to think, maybe Beans wished he had dead silence. But saw the door was ajar and kind of just went for it. It's a very well-known hiding spot. But yeah, no time. LA Thieves, though, desperate, have got one back on the board. Can they make it 2 with this attack?
What's the play this time for Thieves? I mean, it may well be distraction tactics here. Over towards B, make loads of noise, jump into the site, kill Nero. Oh, okay, yeah, we're planting over towards B. Where's the bomb? Absolutely nowhere to be seen. Octane now making his way over towards the restaurant side. Thieves are just going to try and lock this down.
He goes the first nade. Awakening does not want to get picked here. He's waiting for his teammates to come through as well. Vivid wins a gunfight down to a 3 versus 3. Kenny's got a nade in the face. That's the other one down. Octane looking towards the back, but Bean's already locked in. And that bomb, it took a while to get to the B site, will now have to go back.
I thought they were going to be baiting and switching there, to be honest, in a certain kind of way. Send 2 players over towards B. Oh, look at us. We have kitchen control. Just leave A alone. Nobody going over there. That's what I thought the play was. Thieves would have then transitioned over towards A side. Now it's a somewhat desperate pop of the dead silence and try and make a play from Octane. What's the plan?
With 20 seconds to go, he's going to go for a late B push. Envoy.
Oh,
this is huge. He's going to find one. Going to find the second,
wow.
and that is outrageous. Vivid left alone at 1 versus 2. Boston thought they had this in the bag, but Envoy finds the third. And LA Thieves are patient, and it pays. Unbelievable.
Christmas comes early for Envoy. And I want to say that Nero gave that up about 0.5 seconds before he pushed it through. Comes back to help his teammate over towards back kitchen, which in hindsight is, yeah, look, as soon as he turns around. It's actually Beans and Awakening. Sorry, not Nero, but you get it. Good timing. Envoy, the root man, indeed does get paid that time around. 3-2. Thieves back in.
And here's Octane with the sniper. Big fight back goes down here as well. Envoy gonna find a first blood and gets out clean. Thieves, they took 3 rounds to arrive, but arrive they have.
Ooh, be careful. Octane yet again on the board, but he's sharp with the scope. Now the advantageous position. What's the play for Boston, who seem to have lost a bit of that wind that was in their sails? They were feeling confident. 3 rounds in a row. It was nearly 4 on the back of Beans, but since then, Thieves clutching up in a couple of scenarios. As mentioned, Envoy now on that 6th spree. Cruise missile, they're quiet. Make that one apiece. Plenty of info here for Octane. Yes, okay, he does hit the shot, doesn't find the kill, but the info is there. Are Thieves now ready for this push over towards their side?
Okay, he's already going to find Nero. The first kill there is done. And Boston, with no time and outnumbered heavily, need a miracle. Awakening finds the first, but they've still got to get this bomb down. Boston. Envoy going to be on the flank. This should be an easy read for him. Finds Beans. Awakening. No bomb, no time, no friends. He knows where he is. Long range Vaznev isn't going to work out for him. Easy cleanup.
Nicely done from Thieves. You find 1 kill, dip out. Stuns out to slow them down as the flank starts to come on through from Envoy. Call comes through. Awakening already did it to rights. Drazah will find it. Back and forth stretch now. 3 rounds in a row for both these two teams. Thieves clawed their way back into it with a couple of clutch moments in the previous 2, but that was nice and clean.
This game could swing. Boston got 3, Thieves got 3. In that exact order. Now, which way do Thieves go? It's looking like an A hit. Envoy watching the flank, I think.
He's going to get himself out. It's a big push over towards the A side. Vivid will get dealt with in lower side bedroom. Beans will take down Drazah though, but that bomb is still in the hands of Thieves. Cammy with a hold of it crucially. I think if Drazah dies over towards that bomb site, it's a different story, but Beans just still giving the shoulders over towards bedroom, slowing them down. Boston now in a bit of a better position. Good shots from Octane.
Octane sniffing out his challenge as AR King. The old lion versus the young cub. And both players ready for this engagement, but Awakening will actually be the player that makes the difference. Finds Kenny before he can plant.
The two is concentrating on Beans over towards top bedroom, which they do so with Octane. He'll find the shot, but it's Octane from mid. Sorry, Awakening from mid. That initially shut down that bomb push. It's not going to shut down Envoy this time, though. Don't think he has a trophy there. The stun is in. Envoy might be dead.
And Awakening again from this angle. But Envoy has bomb down, and the dead silence is active.
Cruise as well.
He is moving.
Now this is difficult because he can just shoulder this. He can just shoot onto the bomb carrier. Oh, Awakening though holds the angle. I think the grenade would have killed him. But Awakening, a minimum of 3 in that round. Envoy in the prime position. That top bedroom where they got the bomb down is a brilliant place to be. But Awakening holding the expected angle. Boston Breach retake the lead.
See, Awakening just done so much work in that mid-map. Finds the final kill to Nero as well, but they were stressed out trying to figure out exactly where Envoy had gone. Boston edge out a small lead here. 4-3 now in this S&D.
Tight rounds. Very tight rounds. I said they were too busy concentrating on Beans over towards the bedroom side, and rightfully so. The man's sitting it in 4 right now. It was Awakening with the dagger in mid, but this time in mid is Drazah finding the first kill onto Vivid. Can Thieves now convert this into a round? This is a fast retake. Yeah, Boston haven't actually moved on the side. Look at Thieves. They're getting very aggressive here. Boston are ready for it.
They are surrounding. They are stacking. Nero is in a little bit of trouble. That block is all the cover he gets, but he gets a kill anyway. It goes down to a 2 versus 2. The problem is the bomb is down by A. Beans having to slow down because Awakening has popped Eddie and found a kill as well. Now Octane in a 1 versus 2 with the sniper.
It did feel like they were ready for it. Oh, and he was just about ready for that Awakening. Escapes with a haircut. Octane's going to go back to it, but Beans on Overwatch. This bomb will surely go down.
Well, Beans trying not to get taken, but he has been. Bomb planted 1v1. Octane for the 1 versus 2. Has the Vaznev, has the sniper. The dead silence is also active. We know it's not active for Awakening. As Octane runs the route, goes all around, gets it. Oh, wait a second. Octane trying to look for this last kill and will find it. The 1 versus 2 to bring it back to a 4-4. He hits the long route with a Deddy.
All smiles from Sam as Octane will tie things up. It's a nice 1v2. And I want to say it's maybe just a little touch overzealous from Beans to even be checking this. I know he's just throwing shoulders. In the end, it is a good shot. The timing just beats him. But then on the flank, things get a little bit scary, but Awakening can't shoot what you can't see. Octane as elusive as ever. Thieves finding themselves back into this game. It's been such a close search and destroy. And he has really needed to step things up because he had a poor start to the game. So now head in to round number 9. Both these two teams evenly poised, looking like a B hit coming up from Thieves.
Here the crews.
That's from Envoy.
We're looking, trying to figure out exactly where everybody is. Curls it round, does nothing. But it has given Thieves map control. They're about to hit the back here in a big way. Awakening is going to fall. The rest of the Thieves now swinging to action. Nero has to get out of there. They're looking for him.
Oh, they didn't get the info on him. They didn't realize he was there, so they go searching. Stays alive, finds the kill.
There's silence popped. He knows a player here as well. He would have heard it. We did on the stream. Gonna find the kill, but eventually taken down. Beans down to 1 versus 2. This time he has the sniper. Can he find revenge as he also has dead silence?
Oh, ships in the night. Beans is going over towards B. Thieves are out of there.
And Beans may call this now that he knows that nobody's here. Gonna take a route himself.
Cruise? Question mark?
Don't know if it's worth it at this point. He might just try and catch Octane on the out. That's what he wants. Which way does Octane go? And he misses the shot! He wanted that for a 1v1, and now LA Thieves are going to know.
I mean, there's no way that Thieves can lose this now. He has to check every corner towards the back. Thieves set up bedroom side. Many a shoulder will be thrown. And now for Beans, you got to start moving. 23 seconds and accounting. This is such a hard 1v2.
Convinced somebody's here, but nobody is. I don't know if he just saw Octane there, maybe just a second. There's a player in lights. The player in lights is sitting. The bullets will go down. Beans just left with no options. And this game will not stop being close. They will not stop trading rounds.
It feels like when Thieves are finding their first bloods, the conversion has been really, really solid. Using their numbers to their advantage for the most part. I mean, it's been so close all the way through. Coming down to very small scenarios, going one way or another. But so far, so good for Thieves, who were 3-0 down. The last 6 rounds have went 5-1 towards the side of Thieves.
Here we go. Trophy down already. That stun didn't hit where he wanted it to, and Envoy trying to make a match happen, but Kenny's going to be here. Octane will find one, and he tries to get out. Beans running, but no good. And Awakening now has to take on 3 members of Thieves. They thought they had the advantage, but Thieves run it up and haven't stopped.
It's been so convincing. They've matched them blow for blow all the way around the map. Awakening now pretty much dead to rights. This is going to be the map over to Thieves. One apiece in the series.
A disappointing ending for Boston. They must have felt so confident coming off with a hard point and into the first 3 rounds of the S&D. But that's where it went wrong. LA Thieves refused to be broken and fired back. We have a game in our hands, Ton.
Yeah, it didn't really feel like it at first. You know, map number 1, convincing from Boston. First half of this search and destroy, looking pretty good from Boston. But Thieves eventually turning up into this game and have tied the series up after 2. We'll be heading to El Asilo Control. but that is so much better from the side of Thieves. After a disappointing map number 1, they'll be feeling good in this series now. Brycey, it's all to play for.
It really is, and bearing in mind that seeds do matter going into the major, that's what both teams are playing for. Thieves want first, Boston want second. We'll have to find out who actually ends up winning away ton. How are you feeling, though? How do you think this is going to go?
It's hard to say because Boston looked unstoppable throughout the first map and one half of gameplay. They look phenomenal, whereas Thieves really stepped it up towards the latter stages, that search and destroy. So I'm expecting the Thieves come back here. I'm feeling good about them now. I'm all over the shop, Bryce. I don't actually know.
All right, well, let's find out what happens in the control after the break. Don't go anywhere. More Call of Duty action right after this. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Call of Duty League. We are live with LA Thieves versus Boston Breach, and we're ready for another wonderful game. But we have our scuff play of the game is a wonderful 7 streak by none other than Envoy.
Yeah, had a really good search and destroy and started to turn it on when they were 3-0 down. I mean, this one is presented so beautifully for him as well. There's the 2, and he finishes up the 3rd as well as Vivid. Stun in hand. Ain't gonna help you against the Rootman. Once again, the Dark Prince just doing his thing in search and destroy. Very well played. Gets them into a map number 3, not behind, which is nice. But heading into control, this is a strong map for the side of Boston when we talk about El Cielo. Sitting at 5-1 currently, the LA Thieves at 2-2. So Boston on their best control. No more hotel for them to have to worry about. These two may well be the influential players on this map. Envoy setting of the 1.18 and a 1.16 for the side of Nero, but what is one of the more impressive stats is a leading statistic from Nero in the league in terms of kills per 10 minutes, 23.6. He is getting mixy-bricey.
Yeah, aggression will matter. But the truth is, as we go into the major, both of these two teams are looking to be regarded as some of the favourites to win the tournament. For Boston, that did not feel like something I would be saying a month ago. And we are waiting to see if they can do the business on land. LA Thieves, as we know, can.
Well, here we go then. How's Boston's attack going to be looking at? Currently, they're best in the league when it does come down to it. 64% of the time they're winning their attacks, which is impressive compared to the average. Kenny and Octane, no. A good start for the side of Thieves. Want to force them away, but still some presence here from Nero.
Well, a little bit of fighting going on here as Nero finds a kill. Both teams just wait to see where that initial push will heavily hit.
Oh, wow.
That is a huge shot from Nero, though, taking that player off of radio tower. It opens up the rest of his map. His AR should be running up there fast.
Envoy find the kill over towards Bean's top office, though. Will slow down this push from Boston. Get out of the system. Octane now. Over towards the backside will be pressured by Nero, who has just been constantly keeping that pressure on. Nicely played, and he's just a thorn in the side right now because Thieves have to deal with him, but also with the rest of the Breach who are pushing over towards it and capturing it as well.
Nero seems like he's covering every part of this map. Looks for the player, takes the shot early, looks for him still running away, catches him. 4-0. Still not a point captured. Eventually will jump on to support his teammates. And I think it looks like they're setting up for a hit here. Although maybe just to catch the players on the out because A is already gone.
Drazah just about cleaning up onto Nero. That would have been a disastrous gunfight. Beans over towards the backside will get dealt with as well. And see Boston quite often liking to put a lot of pressure over towards that plat side. Get control here. You can shut down the spawns. You can manipulate the spawns for the side of Thieves. Did he see him up top mountain? No, he didn't. Shots fired. Awakening just about out and surviving. And just staying alive in this position is just as good as finding kills.
I found a couple. These are important. LA Thieves, though, gonna have control around Great Awakening. Spots one, takes him out. They're now going to be calling, where on earth is Envoy? And sorry, where is Kenny? And he goes down. This is big here. Boston have an opportunity to at least get a tick forward. The rest of LA Thieves are about to just throw everything they can at this point. But too many trophies down.
Envoy actually managed to get a kill there when he really shouldn't have. Is this setup going to be broken? It's not looking likely. Down to Drazah to do something on his own. He is going to find one. The second would be something quite miraculous, just trying to slow it down. I just don't think Thieves are going to be there in time. Envoy is here to try and be the hero. That'll be the round. Boston Breach. So seamless in their transition from A to B, and the round is over in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, got to give credit to Nero. Just being difficult for LA Thieves to pin down. Only died once that entire round. 2 back-to-back 4 streaks. And he was basically just punching and moving, getting a kill, running away. I know a lot of the times you'll see, especially in ranked play, players go, oh, get on the point. It's not always the way. Get the kills, get in a good position. And Boston have done exactly that on their first attack. LA Thieves looking to answer back.
Thieves now find themselves behind onto the attack on their most vetoed control map as well. Not a great spot to be in, and Nero just doing the same job as he did in the previous round. but just on the other side. Just moves over towards top green rather than top lockers. And he can just be a nuisance from here. And that's all you got to do. For all you SMG players who are playing a ranked player right now, that's what you've got to do as an SMG. Just linger up top, whichever side you're on, and cause as much havoc as possible. Thieves have found a break through them. Envoy in the prime position to force Boston Breach back.
Looking, but it will be taken down by Awakening. Boston swarming over this A site. Drazah running scared and almost turns and burns Nero. Doesn't pay out. Octane going to be looking for the trade. Knows where he is as well. Gets him out. This forces Boston to come back into this area. They have to keep contesting this.
Can he find a kill on the Vivid over towards the B side? And that might just encourage the side of Thieves to push over towards it. But no, it is still going to be B. Secure this. Get some extra time. Nero goes for a check. Octane will say thank you very much. That should be it over towards the Thieves side. I don't think Boston can stop this, but they may well just try to pin them in this position. Beans goes for the contest. We'll try to slow it down, but there's inevitable. Thieves grab a hold of it.
And they're still fighting around this area. Drazah looking for Awakening, who he has seen. Where has he gone? As they go back and forth. I think they can hear each other. Awakening, though, eventually takes the right angle and gets it. LA Thieves currently in their spawn. It's a long way back to B.
Shots into Envoy, having to back down. That's a big route to try and find a way through over towards this field side. You can see Nero inside a bar. Oh my god, gets snapped onto by Envoy. I would like to hope that he was weak, but Envoy will find the kill. Octane will find another opportunity here for the side of Thieves.
We'll have to keep moving. No, this is a little bit of pressure, but going to see Vivid and isn't actually able to finish his dinner. Looks for Nero, though. Nero guns him. What on earth has Nero put into his Vaznev today?
He's having a grand old time. There's a second one onto Drazah as well. Slowing them right down. Octane now dead. Boston. The trenches are dug. Can Thieves find a little bit of a breakthrough? Nero at 15 and 5. We said the engagements have been high. Envoy will deal with him there. He actually has had to put an AR on just to find a route through here. Vivid now in a lot of trouble as well. All of a sudden, it's only actually Awakening left near the site.
Nero waiting to see if anybody tries to farm him off the spawn. Awakening waiting for the initial push. Beans will take down Kenny and a turn and burn before he can do anything more, but Octane's still alive. The hopes and dreams rest on these two while the rest of his team is respawning. Drazah finds a big kill up top. Nero already finds Kenny, of course he does. Vivid finds a second. It must feel like a lonely place for Thieves. They are fighting in isolation.
Yeah, they've got to get rid of Drazah, and they have done. LA Thieves, it has been a staggered push, but they've got one more opportunity. But there's only got one player in any sort of position to do something. Envoy up top will try and slow it down. What Boston are trying to do, which is force them away. Beans will find the kill. That'll be the round. Boston so resolute in their defense. Octane may well have the gunny. He ain't going to get there in time. Big hold from Boston.
And I think, again, you have to speak about Nero. Just ridiculous. Some of the gunfight, of course, he gets the final kill. Well, he's 19 and 7. That is not where you want a Semtex to land.
When it's your day. Nicely done from Nero. Keeping up those engagements. And as said, he's kind of just playing those positions that we talk about so often. If you're an SMG, you get in their face. There's no point in sitting back or doing anything like that. He gets himself in a position where he can flag from. If Thieves find some success on the front foot, he's already on their back foot. 19 and 7 from Nero. It's a hell of a 2 rounds from him.
Respecting the tickets. They're trying to make a move. Dead silence is popped. He's looking for the play already. Guns down Kenny. It's moving a little bit different today, Nero. This is ridiculous. Gives it a tap. Tries to outplay him with timing. His teammate will get the kill regardless. And now Boston are on the B.
They are just flowing through Thieves like water right now. Vivid and Co now set up. Nero holding small as well. This is a nice setup from the side of Boston. Nobody towards the back tin side is going to be the only issue. Beans on a swivel will get gunned by Envoy. Nero there for the trade. B is gone. Unless Drazah can pull a rabbit out of the hat. Has slowed it down here. Nade's starting to come in. Can Drazah find anything? Can find another. Is B going to go over? Challenge coming through. Vivid staying alive. B secured.
Boston looking to put Thieves to the sword in record time. They are not missing a bullet versus them today. Awakening, another big gun. Now comes the big fight. Bean's going to get a second one. The problem will be Octane. Sitting up top radio tower. Has to stay alive. Needs to slow this push down.
He will find the kill onto Awakening, but will get traded. Beans gets him off, and now all of a sudden for Thieves, it's panic stations. Nero, 21-8, looking to improve onto it. Yeah, I dare you to come and challenge this one. Good shots from Kenny, though. That is attack. Octane will find Vivid. A small amount of pressure regained for the Thieves side. They can now force their way out. Boston have a few kills to fight through here, Bryce.
Awakening really wants radio control, hasn't got it. The rest of Boston a little bit off the pace. They are not here in numbers. Nero will find one, but he needs to try and stay alive as long as possible. Not going to happen. Thieves will reinforce this point now. It's a hard break for Boston. They're going to have to split up. They're going to have the flank. They need to find the kills before they can do anything.
Kenny staying alive will be crucial. Envoy gets caught out as he tries to help Kenny out with good shots coming in from the ARs. Kenny, Octane combining well. Nero the only one in any position to do anything, and I think he may as well just stay alive where he is. Try and disrupt the floor that Thieves have found themselves into now. There is one inside of lockers. And this is where he can disrupt Octane. Inside the point, just trying to hold it down. 12v13 in the lives department. 45 seconds for Boston. They're really struggling to make much of an inroad here. Good hold from Thieves so far over towards their side.
Problem for Boston is until they get a little bit of radio control, it's just not going to go their way. The ARs on Thieves will play that position all day. And they are just picking them off. Like I said, it's going to be a bit of a split across the map for them as they try to find the kills, but they aren't finding them. Can Nero be the hero once again? He finds Drazah. Glimmers of hope, but again, he's going to be on the flank, cutting down reinforcements.
Boston with a little bit of mid-map position here. 14 seconds, that timer will be stopped. Kenny on the flank is surely going to be an issue. Good shots coming in from Awakening, though. It is going to disrupt them. Octane finds Beans. Vivid will be taken down. Last chance for Boston.
Nero finds one on the point. Octane still alive, taken out by Awakening. Oh, Nero gets a second. That cruise missile from Kenny might have to come in. He's going to throw every nade he's got. The rest of Thieves are running here as fast as they can. Trophy surely down to the point. It's going to be a Boston stake as they get every single member in. And that's Thieves done on the control. Somebody tell me what Nero was doing today, because he was outrageous.
Absolutely frying them. It's the couple of entry kills that are just silly again. He's loving this side of the map. Outrageous, as you said, from Nero. We're gonna have to check the stats after that, because that felt so good from him. We set the kills per minute were high. A league leading 27 and 11, 23 non-traded kills. The damage belongs to him. A really, really good game out of Boston Breach, and that is why you don't play them on LSELO control. That was flawless.
More than flawless. Not really an awful lot you can say, but yeah, Nero was the X factor. Shooting like a god. And it's all summed up with the fact he landed a nade onto the forehead of Octane.
I mean, when you dial Bryce, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, the guy was just absolutely spitting. 8-1 at that stage, just never slowed down. I mean, you couldn't keep up with 8-1 in fairness, but he was just doing his job. Getting into places where he can try to make plays. He's not there to be the tip of the spear by any stretch of the imagination. He's past that tip of the spear. He's further ahead. He's the knife in the back more than anything. And he was the one opening up routes for the rest of Boston to find a way through. It looked like a really good hold from the side of Thieves over towards this A site in the final round. And it was for the most part. But Nero just starts to gun when needed. There was one. And yeah, he gets a hold of Kenny as the grenades out as well. Sorry, it was Envoy. And that was pretty much it. Yeah, okay, you can call in the streak, but we're just going to stack it. The trophy's down anyway. And Boston, a 3-0 on a control, has got to leave them feeling very, very confident heading into map number 4. We'll be going over towards HyDra, which is a nice pick from them, but a casual 2.45 from Nero against Thieves. Solid outing.
More than a solid outing. A few more kills, and he might have had half of his team's kills, but that was pretty ridiculous. Shots hit 314 versus 313. That's kind of crazy, but realistically, the rest of the team didn't have to do much other than play the objective. Nero was here, he was there, he was everywhere. And now we go on to HyDra. Do Boston finish it here, Or do Thieves take us to a map number 5? It ended on a map 5 last time I believe these two teams played.
It did. It was a Thieves turnaround, if I believe correctly. I'll tell you. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was a reverse sweep from the side of Thieves. So look, I mean that's not on the cards obviously with the mine as a search and destroy. But what is on the cards as a HyDra that Boston have looked great on. Overall in the season, they are the team who have played it the most out of any of the teams in the CDL. They are 2-0 on the new roster. For me, it really has been Beans and Awakening on this map specifically. The ARs really do tend to eat when it comes down to HyDra. You're going to need to see a huge game out of Octane here. He's going to need to step up because he's had some, I don't want to say off maps, but he hasn't necessarily been at his best by any stretch. Whereas Awakening and Beans have looked solid. The ARs looking great. The SMGs have looked, well, even better when it came down to the control. But yeah, some despondent faces in the Thieves camp.
Well, they just have to win 2 more maps and they won't be so despondent anymore. They can go into the major as the number 1 seed, but they do have to win those 2 maps.
Tall order, if I'm honest, especially heading into this HyDra. Boston have felt super confident on it, and when you think about Thieves and you think about that Hellpoint game, their breaking is so crucial to how they play. They're happy for other teams to find a rotation. Specifically, they're sending a 12th in rotational numbers when it does come down to HyDra, but when it is so hard to break kills on this map, will that punish them? That is my worry.
We'll see. We will see. The best thing is, we'll always get to see more at the major, whichever team does end up falling in this game, but I'm looking forward to it. A map 5 just before we hit land would be beautiful.
It would be nice. I don't think we're getting that though, mate. I really don't. I think
Fully on board with Boston.
I think Boston have got this on a lot. Rotational percentage and holding percentage isn't necessarily huge for them. Neither is the break. But look, I mean, when we talk about break percentage on this map, Thieves are sitting at 32%, which is 3rd. It doesn't happen often. It is all about the rotations and the holds. And when you're sitting at 12th in rotations, that's got to be a worrisome figure when it does come down to HyDra. They're sitting at 4 and 3 overall. But it is, for the most part, their most vetoed map. And now they're going up against a Boston Breach team who are very, very solid at it. All signs point towards Boston, which means we're going map 5, Bryce.
Well, before we get there, here are our team standings heading into major number 3. You can see Seattle Surge currently 4-1, Thieves 3-1, Boston 3-1. Underneath that, Toronto Ultra, Atlanta FaZe, New York Subliners, OpTic 3-2. Then we get our 2 and 3s, Guerrillas, Legion, Ravens. And then we get Mutineers and Røkkr right at the bottom ton.
Yeah, Røkkr sitting at 0 and 5 is probably quite a surprising statistic. But speaking of, let's have a look at the bracket. A bracket run from Minnesota Røkkr will be something quite special, but this is how things are shaping up at the moment. Of course, the empty spaces on the bottom side haven't been filled up until some teams lose, but the Thursday schedule starting to populate. Guerrillas, FaZe, OpTic and Ultra all awaiting a definite opponent. We'll have this towards the end of the night. If Boston go on to win this series, they will slot into number 2 seed. I'm trying to figure out where that would put them in terms of the bracket, and Thieves would drop into slot 5. So, of course, still in the winner's bracket. Oh, yeah, look, it's all over the shop. I don't know. I'm not going to try and figure this out. This is League Ops shop. I'm not hired to figure out who's going into brackets.
Yes, you are. This is exactly what it is. Everybody is figuring it out themselves. But obviously, still a lot to play for. Teams to be determined, preparations to be made. And that's probably the key thing for them here as well. They've got a few days, maybe 1 or 2 VOD reviews in it, maybe some scrims. But then everybody is heading to Texas, ourselves included. And I'm looking forward to it, Ton.
I'm really looking forward to it. I'm wondering how many barbecue spots you're going to pull me to be honest with you. I'm curious.
All of them.
Every event we ever go, look, if everyone needs to know, any event we could go anywhere. Bryce would be like, let's go for barbecue. Now we're in Texas. Can you just get your quota of barbecue over and done with? I'm happy for it. And then we don't need to go for barbecue in every single city that we visit.
Look, 2 things, right? Because this game is starting. 1, American barbecue is the greatest food on the planet. And 2, my taste buds only recognize that food. So that's where we're going. End of story. And if you're listening, give me a good barbecue place. Send me a tweet. It'll be great. I'll enjoy it. Let's get back to the game, Ton. Let's stop talking about my culinary habits and figure out what should be happening. I believe we had a player resetting the PC, and then we'll get straight back into this game.
Icing tactics? No. Look, I mean, if there's a time to do it, no, they're not. A couple of crashes here and there. It do be that way sometimes. But Thieves need something. Need something to go their way. Because, I mean, Kenny is just... he looks... I'll be honest, Bryce, he looks knackered. just be rubbing his eyes the entire time. Maybe he's not up for it today. Thieves, though.
I think...
look, I mean, they're in a tough spot. They brought it back in the search and destroy, but this could have feasibly been a 3-0 for the side of Boston. They've looked so impressive.
Yeah, they certainly have. And that's kind of the key thing. I think, except for this game, Thieves are one of the favourite teams to do well or be in the grand final at the Major. We know that this team is stuck, and after what could only be described as a horrible first 3 quarters of the season last year, Thieves slowly but surely progressed into the Titan that we knew them to be. This time around, their only loss was to Legion in the qualifiers on the road to Major 3. But they took down FaZe, they took down Surge, and they took down Røkkr. But a breach may be a step too far, judging on how this game is going.
Yeah, I mean, make it make sense, though. I mean, for Thieves, you beat 2 really strong opposition. Of course, Røkkr not having the best of stages, and then looking towards Legion, who have been hit and miss themselves. You lose to them, and then all of a sudden, yeah, you are. I mean, they still could get first seed after what they would say to themselves if they looked at that record and they looked at their opposition. They would feel like 4-0 would have been a nice spot for them to be in, but their time has indeed been the charm when we're loading into HyDra. Can they close this out in map number 4 to force a map number 5 against Boston? Or do Boston move themselves up into that 2nd seed? Be a good spot for them to be in heading into the Major.
Let's see. Is it decided on hardpoint, or is it map 5 written into the clouds? We will find out as both teams head for this P1 to begin with. Thieves on the slightly preferred side, because P1 to P2 can be money.
Oh, the massively preferred side. P2, statistically the best holding hill on this map specifically. Good kills coming in from Boston, though, to kick things off now. A little bit of pressure going to be put in over towards the dome side. Vivid expecting a mid-push, doesn't get it. But Boston Breach clawing their way towards those P2 spawns, which they will desire a lot.
They really do want to make this push. They don't want to give up any of the time on P1. You are right. It is difficult to break P2 at the best of time. Beans here, though, alone, waiting for more players to come through. Another one gunned. And Boston smell blood in the water. They're moving.
Spawn out. Spawn out. This is an opportunity for now for Boston. As soon as they spot that there's players behind them, they're going to start moving a little bit quicker, but that's big kills coming in from Kenny. May well be early in the game, but those are going to be influential. Envoy cleans up the 3rd. Now it's only Awakening in the spot to do something about it, but a thorn in the side of LA Thieves, who are now setting up over towards P2. The spawn's out because Awakening is so close. Boston with an opportunity here again.
And Awakening makes the play, makes the kill. And they're opening this up now.
Spawns.
Boston swarming around, trying to make it as well. Nero will get 1. It's only going to be Kenny left, and he goes down to Nero. And it has been a rough start for Thieves.
Did he see him in the water? Somebody on the outside. Drazah here. Octane up on the mound as well. Vivid just trying to survive. Envoy will find him. 2 easy breaks coming through from both these 2 teams. All of a sudden, Awakening got a 5 spree. The last one left is a clean break for Thieves. Boston, though, for all that they didn't have that rotation, stop Thieves getting the majority of the time here. That is still a win for Boston, all things considered, but the flip's now coming in over towards P3. Big gunfight towards the back.
It's huge. Octane got a little bit of reinforcements, but Awakening peppering him up. He is heavily outnumbered here, Awakening. Thieves are committing serious resources to it. That nade's going to cause a few issues. Doesn't get hit. Drazah flies around the corner. Again, flies around the corner. Awakening going for the chow. It's slow, and Drazah eventually finds it, secures the back spawn.
That's 10 free seconds and counting. For the side of Thieves now over towards P3. It's been a wonderful hold so far. Drazah holding the back, making sure nobody flanking, making sure nobody from Boston spawning there, and they are being forced so far out. Kenny pushing forward at 9-3. The LA Thieves are coming into map 4 with an absolute vengeance. Awakening will slow them down, but that is 30 uncontested seconds for the side of Thieves over towards P3.
Perfect from Thieves. Still bullets flying in from Boston. As they look to just get it down, and Beans will find 3. Scrap time for them, maybe. They know where the spawns are going to come in. They don't really want to push it too far. There is also a big rotation battle about to happen. Kenny flying around to the back rock. Takes a little dip.
Oh, this has worked out wonderfully. He's found himself towards the back. Nero was looking for him, but no info now on Kenny. Surely they gotta know he's behind them. Spawns out, starting to come through. Kenny will find one, he will dip out, he will just try and survive. Beans will find the kill, but reinforcements do not exist. Nero still spawns towards the back. How on earth has Beans won that? Drazah now here as well. Oh my word.
Just when you think a team has locked this one down, the other team pulls off a madness. And it is fighting both sides at this point. Neither team feels comfortable to get time for it. It's going to be a spawn out for both because of how close they are, and the spawns are blocked. And eventually Beans gets caught timing. Drazah finds a kill. Kenny gets a second one. LA Thieves forcing the front of this hill through pure aggression as they clean Boston out.
It just feels as Kenny just finds 2 absolutely massive kills on rotation. There's been some really good rotations out the side LA Thieves, which is something they've really struggled on this map. Struggled on in general on hardpoint. But if you're counting, I feel like that's... feels like 5 out of 5. I know last hill they didn't get the majority of the time, but they are here now over towards P5. It's a nice setup again. Boston Breach have been slow on the rotation. They haven't been winning the gunfights at the important times, and it's been hurting them. But can they find a break here over towards P5? It's looking unlikely. We're all dead already. Thieves are racking up some good points here.
And what was looking like Boston starting hot has turned into Thieves going crazy. Kenny eventually getting caught on the push out. There is a push coming through the back from Nero. He finds a kill and takes this away from them. Envoy going to be just destroyed by Beans as well. Kenny now coming in for revenge. Jumps down, a little bit of a wobble. Nero wins the gunfight. Wow. Nero takes down 2. I don't know what's going on with him today.
And that will actually stem from Thieves pushing over towards P3, trying to get themselves set up for the P1, P2 rotation coming through. Awakenings will win an important gunfight over towards the dome side, so that will primarily give Boston the good spawns for P2. But it was Thieves rotating over towards P3 because they pushed through their way through that. It was a spawn towards the back for Nero. He breaks it wide open and gives Boston Breach some good time on the final hill of the first rotation. We're now heading into towards the second rotation of hills. Boston the ones in the more favorable spawn position. He's getting points over towards P1 though.
Kenny, there's a huge gunfight, 6 health, and going to be off to the races, but the rest of the Thieves come gunning forward, and now Boston basically have to take a back step. Can't even be thinking just about P1. They want the time off, but they also got to be careful. They do not want to give away P2 from here, and they win everything in the kill feed.
Yeah, nicely done from Boston. The important ones over towards the mid-mapper. What cap for P2 spawns? 15 seconds to go. Drazah will skate out of tin. And now Boston lose a couple of gunfights at influential moments. They will keep a hold of the spawns. They have somebody up top dome. But can they lock it down? Considering a few gunfights just did not go their way. Vivid picking up some extra time. Somebody is swimming. That's going to be Envoy.
I try to look for it, Kenny. That's a big fight for him already. The rest of the Thieves looking to pounce. Keep an eye on the spawns.
There
It's spawn in for Thieves. It's spawn out for Boston.
Can you win the gunfights on the back foot? Beans spinning around, can't find them. Octane and Drazah working that so well, but it's a team effort on that flip. Thieves will find it again. Rotations have been great. Breaks have been phenomenal. And Thieves are, well, not necessarily walking away with this, but they're in a comfortable spot right now. Boston have got no answers to the questions that are being posed.
Yeah, it's raw horsepower from Thieves coming in. They just keep breaking everything. Boston keep trying to set up. They had this on lock and have not got the majority of points as Envoy goes to work. And Boston will now try their luck over towards P3. They want the back spawn. They want the time. And Beans is going for the cut down water.
2 easy kills. No problem for him to deal with. P3 now looking good. Boston Breach, for all that it's felt like they've been second best throughout every single facet of hardpoint here in map number 4. They're still within touching distance. They've kept it close. Things have been scrappy on occasion, meaning Thieves haven't been able to capitalize too much on some of their success. Kills though, which way they're going to start going? Drazah will find Nero. The challenge is maybe a little bit overzealous as now Boston are reeling. Here come the Thieves. It's Drazah off the top rope. Still towards the back is Boston. Still spawning there, but Thieves are in the point.
And this is Thieves every single time, just brute forcing the front of hills, killing anything that comes into them as well as Octane takes on Beans and down he falls. They're still spawning out to the back. It's perfect for Thieves. And eventually, Boston should be able to punch their way into this for a little bit of scrap time, but that's it. No turn to get back into it. And they have a long way to get across this map. Thieves are holding all the cards.
40-point game. Still doable here for the side of Boston. But as we mentioned, as they were setting up for P3 there, they've been second best at pretty much everything. But through thick and thin, they've kept it relatively close. Thieves have still got a job to do here. Good shots from Kenny on the cross. He's 25 and 14. He's been so influential. But Awakening finding one towards the back. Is this a potential break here from Boston? It's looking clean. Octane still towards the back. He should be sussed out. Spawn up for Thieves though. Can Octane continue to lock it down? Finds a couple. Spawn up for Boston. The only one there is Awakening. Spawns at the back though. They will lock down some decent time here. But all of that for 25 seconds, Bryce.
There's 25 seconds they need. So 25 seconds they'll get. On the other side of it, on the minimap, keep an eye. Vivid is hoping to be the spoiler here. Last fight going over for scrap time over it. It will be Boston. And they're going to spawn good as well. This is a little bit chaotic from both teams. They have players all over the map.
Vivid does get spotted out by Octane though. Crucial that he found that kill, but spawns over towards the P3 tin side there for Boston. Thieves. They've broken 200. They can win it here. They would do well, but if Octane is shooting like this, it's just going to be so difficult for the side of Boston. He'll lock down the spawns on his own. Awakening will find them, and that will not be an influential spawn as Awakening then finds a second. Spawn up for Boston towards the back. Bright potential here.
This entire hard point is chaos. Teams are flying in. Spawns are going wild. Who comes out on top? It's just about the gunny. At the moment, Boston are inside. 28 seconds left to go. And Envoy trying to find his way around. The rest of Thieves are trying to back him up as more gunfights are wrapped over the map. Envoy flies, finds Vivid, wins the gunfight. And Octane eventually will lock this one down. They cannot win it here, but it's still a fight for scrap time for Boston, who've just bought at the back. This could be disastrous. It's a race to P1.
Yeah, they're going to get their boots on now and get over there very, very quickly. Octane and Co will start to lock down this P2 time. But look at Nero on the rotation. He's wanting to get dome control for his team to help out over towards P2. Thieves are going to be about 25 seconds away. Boston have stayed within touching distance, but Thieves starting to extend at the right time here. P2 spawns belong to them. P1 belongs to them. They're about 15 away from sending us to our map number 5.
You see the rest of them have to move. Awakening's been stuck in ruins forever, mate. You're going to have to move and go mid. You have to help your team out because you're not going to get P2. You're not even going to get P1 if you can't move. And eventually Awakening backs his team up. A lot of time burned. It will be a hard break for P2 if Boston don't find any sort of progress.
And Thieves are probably going to sit tight. No, they're going to overextend. They're thinking about it over towards P1. They're going to go for the aggression. Nero and Beans will find the gunfights. Envoy will be able to soak up maybe a little bit of time here. Spawn out there, spawn out actually from Kenny. He's not going to get the spawn, so he's not going to be there to help his team. Next few gunfights are massive, but it may well set up a pinch. Thieves 9 away.
Octane holds down the first push. The rest of Boston heading straight towards the hill they're in. Drazah out towards the back. It's a pinch from both sides. They're looking for it.
Spawn to the back.
LA Thieves have to win the gunfights. He's alone in the point. Just looking for one as Envoy will get it. And that is going to be it, surely. There's no way you can get all these gunfights gone down. Vivid will fall. And Boston will not see this out. We're going to our map number 5. It's a repeat of last time between these two teams. Will the result be the same?
And just such a stressful hotpoint. It always is when it comes down to HyDra. But that one just felt like Thieves had it by the reins the entire time. But Boston, with a never to say die attitude all the way through, it felt like they were never winning a rotation. They were never finding a break, but they kept within touching distance. It was such a strange one. I would love to see the stats and how it broke down, but it just never felt like Boston were in any position to come away with the more points at any hill. Vivid not having a great game there in terms of like, yeah, okay, you don't want to talk about kills too much, but in terms of the damage, he has to be there to try and find the rush, but he was shut down at every single moment. The ARs, as expected, had a good time. But even on the Thieves side, the SMGs, when they needed to, were great inside the hill. Envoy with 1 minute and 41 seconds. 16 non-traded kills, but a lot of those would have been inside of the hill to find those crucial points. 12 objective kills to his name. There's a big reason as to why we're seeing LSELO search and destroy at map number 5.
Yeah, crazy hard. I will tell you, most of the way through that, I couldn't tell who was coming out on top. It seemed like a player would hold, they would get broken, the other team would fight back. Realistically, high octane the entire way through HyDra. Less about flanking and rotations and more about who had the best gunny on the day. Well, we're going on map 5. One last map before the major. Don't go anywhere. This break is our last one. We will see you right after this for more action on the Call of Duty League.
No, I'm not. He's top map to balcony. Boom.
On site, on site.
Nice. Which guy did you kill?
I killed Gates.
Dude, I couldn't wallbang.
Where is he, Jordan? Where is he?
Stage.
Nice. Boot to what I remember. Nice.
Someone to kill him.
Last guy unknown. It's oh my god!
Oh my god.
And there you go. Tweet using the hashtag CDL ranked plays to submit your top plays. That was obviously probably a future Hall of Famer, Nade Shot, running it up himself. And I wish my teammates were that good. But let's get back to the game. If you are just joining us, this will be the very final map before LAN. No matter what happens, LA Thieves versus Boston Breach are going into map number 5. The S&D decides it all.
Now that I think about it, the TAC kind of looks like the HBR. It does.
Why, brother? Why?
It does.
I'm sorry, Nade. Anyway, let's concentrate on this one.
Man, let's just get in the map number 5. Look, the Thieves have been playing this map a lot. Sitting at 4 on it, yeah, okay, the record doesn't necessarily suggest that they like it, but they've lost 3 round 11s on it. They are not as bad as the statistics say. 4 on 8 doesn't look great, but Thieves fans be encouraged that it ain't that bad. I'm curious though, Boston, really, really poor in terms of map number 5s in general, which we aren't going to quite get into, but of course that has changed since Beans came into the roster. Maybe the curse lived with methods, I'm not too sure. This one's still to play for, but yes, as mentioned, Thieves 4 on 8 doesn't tell the full story.
Well, I'm curious, who has the ice? Who is the composed team? A dramatic difference in seeding for both of these. And say what you like about seeding, does it give you an easier game considering who's on the other side of the bracket? For Boston, I believe they win this, they play OpTic.
To be honest, man, I don't think there's any easy games in that wins bracket.
There aren't any easy games.
Because you just never know what you're going to get. You never ever know.
Well,
oh, okay,
we'll have to see.
Wait. We just been told. So was that for? Sorry, production. Clarify. Who that was for Boston if they win. Okay, so if Boston if they win, they play OpTic. If they lose, they play FaZe.
There are no easy games in the CDL.
None. Literally
none. Apart from Røkkr at the moment, maybe.
Apart from Røkkr at the moment, yeah. But even then, I mean, who knows when Røkkr turned it on? Look how good they looked at the Boston Major until they lost on the final day, and ever since then they haven't won a series. Don't know what to tell you.
Very true. They're on a 7-game losing streak. But hey, at the Major, magic happens. And enough of us waffling, enough of us talking and bleeding your ears with our... It's time for the final map. The S&D has arrived. 2-2, these two teams remain. Who comes out on top?
Well, here we go. Just been informed by production, actually. Whoever loses this game, your prize, the winner's bracket, start against Atlanta FaZe. That's good enough motivation for me. Is it for these two teams? I don't think they'll really care. Well, heading into the search and destroy. Slow start now from the side of Thieves. Quite happy to be passive and just predict some aggression from the side of Boston. Vivid's caught between the rock and a hard place here.
Envoy finds it. The first blood. Stays alive as well. Looks for more. Slowly but surely having a little peek. Did Awakening here, and Nero will find one onto Octane. Envoy, and the timing! The timing is crazy, but fortunately he gets away with it. Does Beans go for the chow?
Sitting tight. Boston trying not to offer it. Oh my goodness! I think you might have put a couple extra into Envoy there just to make sure, or just to let him know that he's been spot on. Can he now? Left in a 1v3.
Is this possible? When this bomb goes down, Boston will snap into action. All they have to do is trade. Their silence popped. Kenny needs those superpowers. He's gone back in the bomb site after getting out. Oh my goodness! Just destroyed Beans and now runs away. Looking for another one. The nade goes down. Kenny still has dead silence, flying back around. That bomb is being defused though. Kenny moving mad through the door, finds the first. Can he get it before he's in Nero the bomb? But Nero gets the ninja off in time. Kenny almost with a 1 versus 3. Throws back his head in exasperation. Tried to be the hero, but just not close enough.
Just not enough time. He plays this to perfection, if only half a second too slow. By the way, what happened to Beans? He got deleted.
Yeah, fairly certain.
It was an absurd start to it. Great round number 1. Boston will be just about happy. But here we go, round number 2. Boston's attacks have been quite strange. When they manage to find a push and a plant over towards any of these sites, they're only 50% of the time winning those rounds. First blood over towards Kenny. Nero will fall 4v3 now for the side of Thieves.
Just backing off a little bit. Now Envoy. Looking, he heard somebody. Everybody crash walking around the map, and oh my goodness, Beans will take him down. This is the second time in the second round. Now, down to a 3 versus 3. Boston still yet to make a move and commit to a bomb site.
It's got to all be kind of an awakening here. Yeah, he's going to find Drazah. That will open up this side of the map. Now Boston can kind of take over. He's going to push through towards B. This next gunfight is massive for both these squads. Kenny's popped dead silence. They will have no information, meaning he finds the kill onto Awakening. 2v2, time running out.
That will go down. Still has the dead silence though, Kenny. It's already been popped. Got the kill reset. Looks for it now. Looks for Beans, but Beans is equal to it. Octane in a 1 versus 2. Looking desperately to find anything as his dead silence slowly ticks away. Flying around for it. Finds the first. Gets the dead silence retake as well. Beans versus Octane. A 1v1. Octane's moving a bit mad. He's flying about. And Beans again holds the irons, and Octane cannot believe it.
Oh, he's dropped in fast. I mean, Octane has flown in here as well. And he's just ready and waiting. 4 and 1. A frustrated smile from Octane.
So close. Might have to say hello, Thieves. Stop being in the clutch position. Probably go a bit better for you. Although they have been wonderful attempts. It is very entertaining.
I'm sure they're really not bothered about that. I mean, they're 2-0 down. It's been close. Being sniper out. Stone out. Be careful not to peek this if you're Thieves. Yeah, they choose not to. Probably a smart decision.
And they've got away. They know that that is a very common place for players to keep an eye on. Drazah. Going to find an easy kill onto Beans. And gets away with it. Another first blood for Thieves.
That's just far too easy for Drazah to find himself in this position. Yes, okay, dead silence. It's a great catalyst for finding yourself in these kind of spots. Vivid was able to even the odds though. 3 versus 3. Kenny, dangerous spot.
Shooting very, very well. Awakening is going to fall. Advantage now to Thieves. Don't have bomb. They need to find a way to get it, but they got to get past Vivid and Nero.
Bit more information for the side of Boston Breach now. Vivid has got to be the one for them. Nero just trying to hold down the spawn. He's seen Drazah. Vivid's got to be the play. He's popped dead silence. He's going to be making a move in a second, but Nero is here to potentially be the catalyst. One in front of him. Oh, they line up so well. And again, Octane left on his own.
How is there another clutch here on the cards for Thieves? It has been an outrageous time. Where did the bullet go? It doesn't matter. It's over. And Nero will get the kill. I don't know what's happened to Thieves, but all their luck has been taken away.
And this just works out perfectly. He turns around and checks the door as he's running through it. Takes some bullets whilst he's shooting the player on the bomb. And Nero will take those absolutely no problem. These have been stressful rounds, but 3 of them went towards Boston Breach. But remember the previous search and destroy. Thieves are not out of it until the game is over. Boston were 3-0 up in that first search and lost it 6-4. Thieves still in this game.
You are very correct. And it's kind of crazy. I swear Thieves are getting first bloods. Just no conversion at all. Octane almost got another one there, but now has to back up, already taking a few bullets. Hits the deck, still under a bit of fire. Eventually, Kenny backs him up and takes Vivid. It's again a first blood for Thieves.
And look at Drazah, because he knows there's a couple of players towards the back. He can start putting some pressure on. Awakening now in a really dangerous spot, but the AR in that gunfight, 9 times out of 10 gonna win it. You would think Envoy, 9 times out of 10 gonna win that, but Nero guns him. Now a 2 versus 2. Awakening nowhere near the site, needs to get over quickly.
Better for Thieves this time. I have at least 2 of them to try and get this. Checking out the site. Haven't found anyone yet. Awakening going to find the first. Another clutch now for Octane. He finds the first though with a sniper. Nero versus Octane. Can Octane finally get a clutch in the bag? Nero goes for a shoulder. Oh, and he's looking the wrong way. Nero again. It's no clutches for Thieves.
So many 1v1 situations. Just not going their way. And Nero checks it. Octane not even on the defuse. Just holding the angle, expecting someone up top. Nero 7-1. He has had a hell of a series for the Boston Breach. If they can keep this up, they are genuine contenders when we head over towards Texas next week.
Okay. For Thieves, they've been finding the first bloods, putting on an impressive performance, but just no rounds. Get a first blood this time, Thieves, and convert it. But at the moment, Nero is off. Aggressive position from already. Vivid will find the first blood this time. It's Boston with the advantage.
And it's absolute map control for Boston. Vivid up here. It's something you see in your nightmares. It's not where you want anyone to be from the Boston Breach, but Vivid here. Alongside Nero as well. Beans and Awakening just playing this one nice and slowly, but what is the play now for Thieves? You can see Drazah trying to make a move around his team. Maybe the catalyst was something for Thieves now. They need around here. 5-0 would surely be too far, but Awakening will find Kenny. It's a 2 versus 4.
And Thieves have had their fair share of practicing clutches on this one. Can Envoy make a 1 versus 4? No, he cannot. Down they go. It has not been a good S&D for Thieves.
It's their pick, mate. They're 5-0 down. That's gotta sting. Considering you pull it back in the hard point on what was looking like a Boston-favored map. So now it'd be 5-0 down on map number 5. Not a spot I expected them to be in here. Boston are making this look easy.
Is there a full sail waiting in the wings? The Thieves fans, you'll hope so. Drazah finds the first blood and the second. Finally, Thieves, a little bit of luck, a little bit of gunny. And a round, potentially.
Surely this time, as Drazah will find another. Awakening. I have no words.
I'm saying nothing.
I have no words. Oh, the man is absolutely gross, but he will need to be the biggest of wakes to find the 1v3 here.
We are calling for Titan Wake. A 1v4 would end this in heartbreaking fashion for Thieves. And he is he's snaking nothing. There's the corridor. And he will eventually fall.
I mean, the first shots are ridiculous, but a really good round from Thieves. The aggression down the air control side. Drazah finds the opening bloods and finds another couple in the game as well. So Thieves, a little bit of a lifeline here. But it would have to be the full sail. Every single round, just take them one at a time. And I think what will lie and give them some sort of confidence, there has been moments where just a 1v1 goes a different way. It's all of a sudden a very, very different scope. They just have never went Thieves' way. Look at this aggression from Boston. Can he back down?
Is alive. And that's the thing that matters. Nero playing a very aggressive position. Awakening. Looking for the needle. But Nero finds first blood. Instantly got back there. Drazah finds a second advantage. Now the Thieves.
Potential B push on the cards, but they will just actually push in over towards the A side. This is going to be information. The stun should come through. Vivid with the shots. Doesn't find the second. Beans in the mid-map is going to be an issue. He will find one. 2v2.
Waiting for his health. Knows he's got time and teammates. And just the angle there to not see Drazah come through the door. Looking for it. Already going to see one jump over.
Vivid's making
He's
the
going
move.
to kill, but Vivid on the flank. He's got a pistol and it's not going to be enough. Beans now looking for the last player. It's a gunny from Beans. It's body shots. And that'll be it. It ends not with a bang, but with a whimper. 1 round for LA. Boston Breach take this series 3-2. They will go into the major second seed. And oh my goodness. I mean, it's a smile from Octane, but I believe it's in disbelief.
I think it's 3 or 4 different 1v1s that every single one goes to Boston Breach. On another day, that's a Thieves win already. That has got to sting. The first bloods, there was 5 of them from Thieves. They won 1 of the 7 rounds. That is gonna sting.
That is really poor conversion. Dreadful. There's no other way to put it.
Yeah.
Thieves will be a little bit dismayed by how that one went, and so will any of the fans. But Boston, they walk away with the win here. They take down Thieves for the first time in franchise history and secure themselves the second seed at the major in just a week's time.
And deservedly so. That was a really good performance. You know, ever since that first game with Beans, things looked shaky, but since then, Boston have really cracked on. They look like a team that could go all of the way. I'm really interested to see how they do in Texas. Great way to finish the online stage, though.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Well, anything I love more is our Dashy. We're going to break down this game for us.
Thank you so much. And I'll be honest, I did not see this one coming. Boston Breach is coming into Texas with the #2 seed overall. Seattle Surge now going to be celebrating the #1 seed in LA Thieves. Well, we'll have to find out where they're going to land in the bracket. But let's talk how we got here, Allie. It was a 1-3-5 victory for the Boston crew. What did they show you tonight?
They showed me they could win game 5s and that they can beat LA Thieves, who historically they have yet to do. So as a franchise, this is a huge revenge match when it comes to the Boston Breach.
The first?
The first? This is the first!
It took you 6 to get here!
It's the first, and you know what? I think it has to be that opening hotel hardpoint. That was really impressive for me. Last time they played LA Thieves, they lost this map 250 to 220, and it was Beans going 34-21 for a 250 to 188 win. And then we had to that hotel. Those first 3 rounds were really impressive out of the Boston Breach, but I do have to tip my hat to the LA Thieves for making that in-game adjustment. They got 7 of the first bloods on that map, so you would like to assume that they upped their conversion right there in that map #2,
right,
because that is what they were unable to do in that map #5. They got 5 of those first bloods and yet still lost 6-1.
How does that happen, Nameless? Was this just a troublesome map for the Thieves? Were there in-game errors? How did Boston walk away with that final search and destroy?
I mean, when we talk about this final S&D, I mean, early on it came down to a couple really tough 1v1 scenarios. We've seen Kenny almost clutch a 1v3 and just some unlucky peaks. We saw Nero get through the door, get a 2-piece on the bomb site. So all in all, I mean, Boston Breach is making some really good plays on the map, some great adjustments, as Ali said. When I look at this series, it's in the vetoes, and it comes down to that control. I love what we saw to Nero. My man was 27-10 behind enemy lines, absolutely frying with a sub in hand. That's where they have a big advantage. And when you look at it, LA Thieves won the coin toss, and they forfeit picking Team B, which allows Boston to do that. And now Boston know when it comes down to it, they can beat LA Thieves.
Yeah, and I think Boston were a little bit outside of that bubble of conversation of being a contender heading into Texas Major.
Yeah.
I think there were some question marks. This map, I think, kind of solidifies that. But some nitpicking mistakes, a little bit of some prioritizing. They need to work on that HyDra hardpoint, but they look good.
They do look good. And since adding Beans into the roster, they are heading in with a top 2 seed to their first major together as a foursome. We have Nero joining us live. And Nero, I got to get your thoughts on this matchup, starting with that game 3. Nameless just mentioned it. We were in the green room saying Nero is everywhere. He is crushing this map. What was working in control for you guys today?
Well, the 3 started pulling out a 30 AR in the LSL control, so it pretty much gave me the green light to do whatever I want, like anywhere on the map. So it was I don't know, I feel like I was just in the zone that map. I did everything I could, I did it right, and they couldn't gun me, so.
Yeah, they couldn't. Congratulations on the win. How good does it feel to finally beat LA Thieves?
Oh my god, holy crap. What are we? 1-4 against them now. 1-5.
Something.
About time we beat them.
Bad.
Holy.
Yeah, but you got your
Every
revenge.
time we
That's
play
all
this.
that matters. That's all that matters. But back to a normal question. Where do you guys feel kind of your biggest strengths are right now heading into the Texas Major? Because you've now solidified that second seed as well.
Yeah, our strength is definitely our control. Our control got, I wouldn't even say it got a lot better because we were good with control with Zen, but our control is definitely like, I don't know, the control, that's definitely our win money. Yeah, 100% is.
Nero, I could tell you're super hyped right now, so I'm just gonna ask you, I wanna know, what are you guys looking to fix headed into the Major? Because it seems like you guys are almost there to become contenders here at this next one.
We need to fix our clutch moments on hardpoint, especially like rotating a little early to the hills. I feel like at the HyDra we were just on the back foot on literally everything. No spawns, no hills, no nothing. We were breaking a lot, so it's definitely hardpoint, like rotation wise, and that's about it, really.
Nero, final question for you is, what are the plans right now for Boston as you head to Texas next week? I know the matches start on Thursday, but when do you guys get in and start warming up?
We get there Tuesday, but we warm up Wednesday. We scrim and stuff Wednesday, so that's our schedule. I just can't wait for the OpTic Major. It's gonna be a blast.
Well,
always is.
Speaking of the OpTic Major, I just got word from our producers. It is official. You will be playing OpTic on the stage to
really?
open
First round?
winners bracket round one. Wow. How are we feeling about that?
I don't know. You usually don't want to play the home crown team first series of the day, but we gotta do what we gotta do.
I don't know the timing of it, but I know it's in that first matchup. So best of luck, Nero, and the rest of the breach. We'll let you go enjoy the time with the team.
Thank you. Much love.
That is Nero, the SMG god for the breach tonight. He was laying it down across all 5 maps, and they walk away with our #2 seed after all of his efforts. Let's take a look at all of our teams. All 12 of them will be in Texas, but only our top 8 are starting in the winners bracket, and the A spot belongs to the Guerrillas after a 3-way tie. OpTic's win today, though, is going to secure them the 7th seed, and you are going to see everyone there on the left matching up in our winners bracket together. Here's how it all breaks down. Allie, our first look at it. Here we go.
What we got?
Versus Guerrillas, FaZe versus Thieves, Breach versus OpTic, and Ultra versus Subliner. Do you want to be in the top half or bottom half of that bracket?
I don't want to be anywhere. That's a rematch. FaZe versus LA Thieves once again in our match number 1 and
Ultra
over there in
Subliners
winners.
too.
Oh.
Yo, that match was actually huge. Boston getting that win is crazy for the bracket.
I mean, I'm worried about whoever has to play London Royal Ravens when you drop down, if I'm honest to you, or Vegas Legion. I mean, that is a terrifying elimination bracket too.
Chat is getting interesting right now. Let us know which matchup are you most fired up for, because you can watch them all live. We will be going live ourselves at 1 p.m. Eastern, so tune in for headquarters on day 1. It all kicks off March 9th with Ultra versus Subliners, Surge versus Guerrillas, Breach takes on the home crowd and Texas OpTic, and we close things out with a battle, the rematch from our Boston finals, Atlanta FaZe going up against the LA Thieves. I want to thank everyone for tuning in throughout this Major 3 qualifier. It's been a blast. Final thoughts here as we are now headed to Texas next week, Nameless.
There is no clear-cut favorite. That's what we've learned from this weekend. Nobody's going into this event with a massive edge.
Allie, 3 weeks of qualifiers. What did you learn?
See you guys in Texas. That's what I've been waiting. I'm excited. I'm ready.
There
I'll see
you
guys
go.
there.
Unfortunately, I will be at Shimmy's wedding. We're going to have reflections on the desk. He's going to kill it. Thank you all for tuning in, and we'll catch you down south for Major #3 on Thursday.
Let's go. Yeah. This an action-packed Rambo rap, Sambo rap, heart like Geronimo rap. Go black, I just move on them, advance on them, groove on them, then dance on them, put a trance on them, with this tool on them. Tell all my young MCs what's the move on them. Mass tragedies when I grand move on them. Put in long hours over strong flowers. The money's all ours. This is all power. We getting it. We getting it in. I said we getting it. We getting it in. Stamping across the clock, the work really begin.
Just don't line up with me.
Y'all know what it is. You know what it is out here when we really getting it in. It's what we do. A great day like the crack of dawn and start morning. Pouring victims on rooftops. drive through orange. Saw me like a hawk eyesight. I spit a fortnight, locking in on pictures like a pit dog fight. I won't let go to press retro. Spit death blows, in other words, flip murders. Get burgers, zip murder. Split my service pistol down. Spring cleaning, the team scheming. See the team gleaming. Some people miss the point. So